There's a million toys for a million different boys. There's only one that I like. There's a million toys for a million different boys.
Right, this is a review of the Esbit solid fuel cooking stove. As you can see, it's basically a solid fuel cup with everything that goes into it, and it packs down really small and light. Now, I've bought this from REI in the States. This cost me about $30 US, which is about £22. Fantastic little stove. Talk you through what I've done to it. Obviously, it comes with a little stuff sack in here, and that is just basically protects the stove as you're transporting it, and also keeps it all in place because, and a lot of people, I read this online, a lot of people fill these up with all the bits you need to do the stove, which I have as well. So a lid, a little handle on the top here, just to so you protect your hands when it's hot. Always carry a lighter in here, a couple of little sort of coffee packets in there, just in case I'm feeling the urge for a bit of coffee. And on top of that, then I carry 10 of these solid fuel bits, the tablets. So these are the Esbit ones. I got these again from REI, and basically it's an individual tablet. It's about an inch across, and these burn for about 20 minutes. Now, you say they get a full cup of water out of about one and a half tablets. One tablet will do 1.5 cups of water. So we're going to put that to the test now, but I'm just going to take it apart and show you what we've got in here. So yeah, so 10 little tablets I keep in here. If we pull the cup apart, what you start off with is this windshield. Little rubber mounts at the bottom to protect whatever it's on, and that will go on the top here. And then you've got the placement for the solid fuel in there. Now, probably what I'm going to do is place this just on a little tin, just to protect the base here that I'm working with. In fact, if I turn it the other way up, you might even get a better view of it. And it's going to just protect the base that I'm working with here. So I'm going to put the fuel in, put some water in, and test it out. Just inside the cup to start with, as you can see, there's little graduations inside the cup. I don't know if you can see these in the light here. Little graduations inside the cup, which help give you the different mils of water. So you've got fluid ounces on one side and milliliters on the other. It takes up to about 550 mil of water. So it's just about half a litre of water. A couple of really good gram handles on the side there as well, which make it really nice to pick up when it's hot. And these, you can either overlap them to push them through closer, which I personally like, or you can keep them separate and just pull them together like that. But I like to have that sort of overlapped. I think that gives a much sturdier handle on there. So let's put this together and see how we do. So what I'll do is I'll just come back a little bit, zoom out a little bit here so that you can see what's going on with the stove as we do it. And I'll see if I can get it timed as well. So I'm going to put a timer next to it here, just so that we can see roughly how long it's going to take to boil the water. So starting off, I'll put one of the tablets into it. So I've got a little tablet just down here. These come apart really easily. So you just basically peel the side of the packet and then pull this up. This tab comes up, he says, and the tablet comes out. So once you've got your solid fuel placed inside the stove, these tablets, now I've seen some people, they use 2 tablets and they put them on end to end. I'm just going to place one tablet just flat in the base like that. That's all I need at the moment, just to burn this and then get the heat going. Little obviously air vent intake here at the side. You can turn that to whichever direction you want with the wind. Obviously you probably want that downwind, and little air vents around the top here just to help it burn a little bit better. So what I'll do is I'll fill the cup up with water, and then we'll light it, put the lid on, and see how long this is going to take. So one of the beauties of a system like this is that it is very light, very transportable, and absolutely maintenance free. So there we go. So I filled it right up to the top, which is up there. I don't know if you can see the water just splashing around at the top. Absolutely maintenance free. One of the problems with the stove is if a burner goes or a jet goes while you're out camping, that stove is useless. This thing is absolutely idiot proof. You can stamp on this, jump up and down. It's never going to fail. So it is almost the perfect stove. Okay, it's not as technical as some of the other ones, but it is absolutely bulletproof. So just going to light the tab in the middle. So once that takes, now this is one of the only problems, I suppose, is if you're out in the wild, you need to get this lit. This might take a few minutes or a couple of seconds to do. If it is windy, you need to get out of the wind to do this. This is the only downside to this stove, is the ignition is not that great in the wind. So once it's got a bit of a burn going on that, I'll give it a chance to get heated, and then what I'll do is I'll put the stove on and we'll time it and see how long it takes to boil this water. So couple of things while I'm talking about this as it's starting to heat. It's all integrated, obviously. The pot, the pan, everything all comes together in that stuff sack. The cubes, the burn cubes are a little bit extra, but everything else all comes as standard. The covering on it, it's got it's an aluminium pot, and everything is aluminium, but it's got a silicone coating on it, so non-stick, and it's easier to handle. So right, let's put this on, put that on the top, let's start the timer, put the lid on, and let's see how long that takes to boil. So very quickly, as we're waiting for this to go, and I'll fast forward through this video because I think watching water boil is probably the least exciting thing that you could possibly do. A couple of other little bits about it as well. Obviously temperature with altitude, the point at which water boils with altitude changes. The higher you go, the easier the water is to boil. There's less air pressure, so the temperature at which water boils reduces below 100 degrees centigrade. If you are trying to use this to desalinate water, you have to be aware of that. Obviously, as you go a little bit higher up a mountain, it may not boil the water hot enough to kill the bacteria. Obviously, you want to try and boil the water, and then of course on top of that, then you will find that you will have to possibly cook your food a little bit longer because the water might not be as hot. Obviously with this, you're probably not going to put food in here. This is probably just to boil water to then transport or turn into something else, or even just have the packet of food if you want it and put the water into that packet. This is basically, I think, mainly just a hot water heating system. But that's great because most of the time you're out hiking, you want hot water for either hot drinks, tea or coffee, or you want it to heat some water, heat some food. This system will do that, and like I say, it's absolutely idiot proof. So we're going to let this burn away, let the temperature go up to 100 degrees centigrade. We're pretty much at sea level where I live here, and get the timer running and see how long it takes to boil 1 cup of water. Okay, so I'm starting to hear it now, and it sounds like it's boiling a bit, and I'm looking at the clock and it's saying just over 9 minutes, so I'm expecting that to be about right. So what I'm going to do is have a look inside quickly, and yeah, I think that's boiling. So we're going to stop the timer there. It's just around about 9 minutes. 9 minutes to get a boil on, so that is quite impressive for half a litre water, for basically a cup that is just powered by a fuel cell, just one of these little fuel cells. That is absolutely brilliant. So just that little fuel cell there, that's all it takes to power this. Now I can carry 10 of these in the cup with a lighter, so if each one of these will boil 1.5 cups of these water, I mean I'm looking at over 5, well, coming up to about 5 litres of water that I can boil, just transporting it all in this cup. So 10 of these little tabs, this cup half, gives me 5 litres. So it's a brilliant little system, very light indeed. I mean, the whole thing weighs 7 ounces, which is absolutely nothing. So if you are going to go camping, you want a lightweight, easy camping solution that is absolutely idiot proof, that maybe even works as a backup stove, or if you're light packing and you haven't got the luxury of getting yourself gas stoves the whole time or gas canisters, I'm sure that you can use or pick these up anywhere. They don't weigh a lot. You can just carry these in your pack if you can't fit them all inside the tin, and keep a stack of these with you. You know that you're guaranteed to be able to burn it. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the fact that this was done inside in a room with no wind. Obviously that might affect the burn time slightly, might affect the temperature at which the can get through to the pan to heat it. So as quick as it will be, 9 minutes, could be a little bit longer. Great little product. Now this, personally, I use this on light packing stuff. I've used it quite a few times. It's got barely any wear on it, a couple little scratches on it, but it's got a really hard silicone coating by a company called Esbit. It's a German company. I got this from REI in the States. Great little product. If you like this review, give a thumbs up in the comments below, and also if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'm going to try and do a review every day, so a daily review of a product that I use.